2 years ago, but unfortunately, they always say don't do the first Benny Ultra because they'll get something wrong, and they did. So there was 4 loops because there's no track. You have to rely on the markers. And the nighttime loops, the markers they got wrong. Either the reflectors were missing, we think either the cows knocked them over or the crows took off with them. And plus they also were like little flags and they pointed with the wind away from you, so what are you trying to find? So out of the 50 people that started, I think about 40 people got lost. Which meant I did 75 Ks of the 100 Ks. So last year I did the 50k, that was okay. So I'm going back to do the 100k.
And I only started the GoPro just halfway through your chat.
That's
so
right,
the Simpson Desert.
Simpson Desert Ultra.
So Joe's an ultra runner.
So, and then I've got my other unfinished business is the Scenic Rim Ultra, where I did that a couple of years ago, but unfortunately they had a bushfire with the field, and all the slower runners like myself got stuck behind. But I did manage to do 43k, so it still counts as an ultra.
Yes, absolutely.
42.2, so 800 kilometres.
And you're doing Tarawara this year?
Yes.
Nice. The 100? 102?
102. The 2 is all important, isn't it?
It is.
So you've done the Tarawara?
We've done it, yes. We went twice, but I was the same first time, and it's my first DNF for an ultra. We've done 23 or 24 ultras.
Okay. Mostly what's on this? 100s?
100s, yeah.
Great, I'll get on you.
But I got to
Great.
I got to a beautiful lake, and I was looking at the scenery, not where my feet were going.
Yeah.
And there was a little grass stub, and I thought it was just grass, but underneath was a broken off pole.
Yep.
So I came at guts, did a rib at 16k, got to 40k, and they said the next part's really technical, and you can't get out unless you get picked up by a boat. And I was thinking, I can't do another 60k in pain. So I pulled off.
No, you've got to make it. I did the UTA 100 last October, and about the 10k mark I was getting warm and it was getting sunny, so I thought I'd take my thermal off and put the sunnies on. And unfortunately I didn't give my eyes a moment to adjust with the sunnies, put my foot straight in a hole, and it threw me over. But luckily the woman behind me sort of said it was amazing, I was just waiting for the snap. But luckily your foot went in, foot came out like you'd planned to do it. I was okay. Just a few grazes.
Yeah.
And I kept going, it was okay. Yeah. So I didn't have any injuries really.
How good a further stairs?
Well, they had to change it unfortunately. We only did about half of them because they'd all the weather, rain, so they'd already had to move it later because of that landslide. They had that landslide where the family got killed by Wentworth Falls. That was on the UTA course, so they had to move the course, and they shut down the entire Blue Mountains to wait to check that it was all safe. Then there was more rain just a few weeks before, so they had to move it again. So it was, they say it was a bit easier, but I think there was a lot more road running. But unfortunately what a lot of the trail runners didn't count on is coming to aid stations, all these people with ice packs on their knees saying, I don't have my knee problems, flared up. And what they didn't remember is when you're running on a cambered surface, you've got to change sides, because otherwise all these people are saying, oh, may have their knees sore. And I was with a guy who actually had a torn meniscus, and I was walking with him at one stage. He said, "Oh, we better change sides. Remember about cameras?" I said, "Oh, that's right." And that's what I figured a lot of people were doing. So
yeah,
it had its own challenges.
Yeah, the road's harder.
That's another one I'll go back at some stage. They have one. I said to them, they asked about a comment, and I sort of said, "Well, I'll be back." Because they give a buckle for 70, so I'll go back to
okay, because we got the buckle, the bronze buckle for under 20 hours.
Oh, great on you.
Yeah, well, the first time I did my knee on Iron Pot Ridge coming down, and we just walked it and did a walk in 21 hours.
Yeah, I was with a guy at one stage. I did the first 50 in under 10. And I was with a guy who was walking. He said, I've done this 8 times, and I've always done it under 20 hours.
Yeah.
And we were doing good pace, and I thought, oh, yeah. My main concern was I had my sister up there, and she was I told her I'd finish at 8 o'clock, and I said, oh, if I ring her up and say, you've got to be out there at 4 a.m, because that's when I'm coming in, she said, well, I won't be there. So I thought, well, I better slow down. That was my excuse.
Yeah, we went back and got the belt buckle under 20 hours.
Yeah, my main aim was because I had a DNF at the Guzzler, where
That's a tough day.
Yeah, well, they also changed the course, so all the really big hills, like the Kokoda Hill, which is a pretty tough one, they made you do the course twice, the 50k course, so you had to do Kokoda twice, which was a bit tough.
Yeah.
And so the first 50k's went okay, but I'd returned from injury, done the Brisbane Trail Ultra 2 weeks before, got sick after that, shouldn't have been out there. And I realised at the 65k mark, the tank was empty. I thought it's even hard going downhill. I thought I'd better get out of here because I just can't do this. That was my first proper DNF apart from the Ultra, which the Simpson Desert I blame on their markers, the Scenic Rim I blame on the bushfire. So that was the one where it was my own stupidity.
Have you done Glass House?
No.
It's lovely. You've got to go do like Glass House.
Yeah. Well, I used to do more cycling, so I've done a lot of the rides up there. And so my 40s and early 50s, I was mostly a mammal, the middle-aged men in Lycra. But I realised as I got into my later 50s, all my mates were all either dropping out or getting rather grumpy. So they say the mammals turn into cobwebs, which is cranky old bastards with expensive bikes. And so then I thought I'd give running a go again, and I'd had an injury, the knee, and I took up a challenge from my daughter. We were both going to do my 60th half marathon, and I was going to see if it got me good again. And I did, and it went well. So then I thought, well, I'll try the Gold Coast. And that went well, and I realised the running was actually helping me. So then I thought, well, what the heck, I'll try an ultra. So.
And you're, where you live on Tambourine?
Yeah.
Are you retired?
Yeah.
A caravanner?
No, just getting it here, and I've got so running, and the other big one is garden. I've got a bit of a jungle. I live on half an acre, which is also next door to a reserve, and there's lots of things to do there.
Nice.
Plus where I am mentally, spiritually, is getting back to nature. So for me, ultras is all about spending lots of time in the rainforest.
We'll have to go for a walk with you one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so when you're heading off on your...
In a week we're going down south. 2 months we'll be away, and then we come back.
Clockwise.
We're not going yet. We're just fine-tuning. We're trying to get a boat on the roof of our caravan.
Yep.
So there's a bit of fitting out to be done before we can take it. So we're going without the boat down south for 2 months, then come back, get the boat fitted, and then around Australia.
All right.
In June. We'll leave
Can
in
you go
June.
across the middle at all, or just leave
Up the top, around the outside, and because we're doing the coast from Melbourne here, we'll probably come up through the middle on the way back.
Well, if in June you're anywhere near Birdsville, remember the Birdsville Ultra.
What date?
So that's the beginning of June. So the woman that runs that is a local Birdsville woman. She's does everything. She runs the Birdsville races, runs the local cafe. Amy's lived there for years. She had some stage she did ran from the tip of Tasmania to the tip of Cape York. And she's an amazing sort of dynamic sort of person. And this year she's planned it so it's on the full moon, and also they're going to have a variety of things you can do. So if you want to just do 25k at sunset and then go to sleep and get up in the morning and do the 25k at sunrise, you can do that and it's all sort of counts. So
maybe June next year. We've got our best man's birthday in the beginning of June in Brisbane, and so that's why we're waiting before we head off. But next
keep
June.
the numbers down to about 200. So
Nice.
and it's all meant to be a bit more social. So there's a staggered start. The final stage, final 25k's, no one can be on the course until 7 a.m. at sunrise. So everyone's together at the end.
I love those sorts of races.
And there's actually the first year they made a movie, there was a group of women, there's a woman called Kath, who online does all these crazy things. She's not a typical ultra runner, a biggish woman, but she does these crazy things across Siberia. I think after the Simpson Desert she was going off to swim across the Arctic Circle, those sort of things. A lot of women sort of say, I'd love to do it, I'd love to do that. And she got a group of 18 women to all non-athletes to go and do the Simpson Desert Ultra various distances, and they made a movie of it. It's called Normal People Would Drive. And it actually went to all the sports film festivals around the world, London, Milan and places like that. So look out for that.
Wow.
Normal People Would Drive.
We will. Well, this is lovely. We better do a warm up and.
You better. Are you going to do that while you run?
No. I don't like to run with it.
You'll have to get on.
Yeah. So I just usually capture a little bit of where we are in the essence, and then run and then film afterwards.
I think, have you seen that GoPro ad where Kelly and Jornay is up on the, it's called Running Ridges?
Oh, we're running right across the top. Very narrow.
This narrow, about 300, 400 foot drop. And
Yeah.
he's running, and he's actually got his GoPro with him.
Yeah.
Looking up at it and checking while he's running on this ridge where one false step would be death.
Yeah, I've done that, but you see me hanging like 4 points of contact plus my bottom. 5 points of contact for me.
Anyway,
Well, thanks, Joe. It was lovely to meet you.
have a good run.
See you at the end.
Good luck with your trip. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're my Memphis, New York, New Orleans, all rolled into one. In the city, country, the mountains or sea.
Dakota.
Yeah, I just found Harry.
You're talking about Dakota.
You go Dakota.
Yeah, come on, Joe.
No.
I thought you had.
Not the Cacao
Challenge?
No,
Oh, right.
not the team. I've just done Cacao Hill.
The actual. Oh.
No. You talk.
No, but you should do it. You got a team.
You got a
You need a
committee.
team.
I'll support you. I'll
Well,
crew for you.
Well, my thing is that, I find all challenging to be part of a team.
Yeah.
Because then you're all watching out for the other members. And in fact, in ultras, I usually come unstuck usually with the group. I tend to start eating and drinking and going to their pace. And then I realise, I haven't done my usual thing. And I got caught out in the Simpson Desert Ultra once when I was with a group of women, and it was hot. And I realised what a lot of women do when it's hot is, they still don't drink much because there's the desert, there's nowhere trees to go and have a pee behind, and so they'll drink less to the point of almost getting dehydrated. And I started drinking like that, but I got dehydrated.
I'm guilty of that because my husband and I usually go together,
Yeah.
and I don't like the time penalty when I have to go to the toilet because I've got to run to catch up.
What this group eventually said was, can you go on ahead? We all need to have a pee, and they'll just, happy to have a chat and have a pee together, but they didn't want me hanging around, so they used to scoop me off the head. But anyway.
Well, good luck in Kokoda Challenge, Harry.
If I do it again, I have to find a team. I've got a team that want to do it, but
Yeah.
they are all obviously more what I call an athlete than a casual runner.
Well, you should train with Bet over there. Bet's doing it this year.
Yeah, what time is the goal? Do you know?
I don't know.
Because these guys are probably.
If you get in cycling, this is a high-tech helmet. It's got built-in lights. It's got built-in Bluetooth. Connected to
Wow,
Technology.
that is pretty
You
snazzy.
got to charge it like a bit.
Yeah. One more thing to plug in.
It also beeps when you indicate. It's got crash detection, it's got emergency contact.
indicators.
Yeah.
I've been all around the world, done all there is to do. But you'll always be the